Marriage is often seen as a union of love and destiny, a choice guided by passion, shared dreams, and unshakable commitment. But life doesn't always unfold like a fairy tale. For some, the path to marriage is shaped by practical decisions, self-doubt, or the fear of being alone. Today, we're diving into the raw and real stories of people who married their better-than-nothing option. These aren't tales of perfect romance, but rather reflections of human resilience, compromise, and sometimes unexpected happiness. From marriages that blossomed over time to relationships that crumbled under the weight of regret, these stories reveal the diverse outcomes of settling for someone rather than waiting for the one. You'll hear about couples who turned their ordinary beginnings into extraordinary partnerships and others who discovered that settling was never the answer. So whether you're single, happily married, or somewhere in between, stick around. These stories might challenge your views on love and commitment, or even help you better understand your own relationships. Let's start with a story that might surprise you. A tale of two people who married out of practicality but discovered something beautiful along the way. A co-worker once shared how they and their partner decided to tie the knot after just 8 months of dating. Both were in their late 40s, feeling the weight of time and societal expectations. They admitted to settling, but instead of letting that define their relationship, they committed to improving themselves and their partnership. Over the years, they embraced therapy, developed healthy hobbies, and mastered communication. Now in their early 50s, they act like newlyweds, proof that sometimes love grows where you least expect it. Not every story ends with happiness, though. One person shared their heartbreak after realizing they had been their spouse's better-than-nothing option for 17 years. For almost 2 decades, they thought they were building a life together, only to discover their partner had been quietly harboring resentment. When the truth came out, it shattered their world, leading to a divorce that left them questioning everything they thought they knew about love and trust. Another story highlights the complexities of blending families. A couple came together as single parents, driven as much by practicality as by attraction. For years, their focus was on raising their kids, often ignoring the cracks in their own relationship. When the children grew up and moved out, they faced a harsh reality. They didn't know how to be a couple without the distractions of parenting. It took years of effort, a lot of compromise, and even a crisis for them to rediscover each other. Today, they describe their bond as stronger than ever, but not without acknowledging the challenges they had to overcome. And then there's the bittersweet tale of a man who spent a decade in a marriage that felt more like a business partnership than a romantic connection. They raised two children together, shared responsibilities, and even had moments of joy. But as time passed, they grew apart, realizing they were more roommates than soulmates. Despite the eventual divorce, he looks back on the marriage with gratitude, saying, "Without her, I might have been alone forever, and for that, I have no regrets." Not all better-than-nothing marriages are built on practicality alone. Sometimes they're born out of unexpected circumstances. Take, for example, the story of two best friends. One man, desperate to immigrate to a new country, proposed to his best friend, and though there was no romantic spark, they shared a deep bond. For years, they were inseparable, supporting each other, laughing together, and living as the kind of duo everyone assumed was in love. Today, even though they've moved to different cities, their friendship remains unbreakable, proving that sometimes love doesn't need to look like a traditional romance. But not every story has a silver lining. One woman reflected on the heartbreak of marrying someone who never truly saw her as the one. She discovered, years into their marriage, that her husband had settled for her out of fear of being alone. While he told her she was his everything, he shared a much different story with his friends. The revelation left her devastated, and though she ultimately filed for divorce, she admitted the emotional scars still linger. Another man, however, tells a different tale. In his younger years, he married someone he considered a safe choice. His bride wasn't the woman who set his heart ablaze, but she was kind, supportive, and dependable. Over time, he realized his initial doubts were misplaced. As they built a life together, she became the person he couldn't imagine living without. Reflecting on his marriage, he confessed, "My romantic self was an idiot. I thought I was settling, but in truth, I found everything I didn't even know I needed." For some couples, though, settling leads to struggles they can't overcome. A woman shared how she married her husband after feeling the pressure of age and societal expectations. From the beginning, their relationship lacked passion, and while they managed to coexist for a decade, the lack of connection took its toll. As she put it, "We were never in love, but we stayed out of convenience." Looking back, I wish I'd had the courage to wait for something more. And then there's the story of a husband and wife who turned their rocky beginnings into an incredible partnership. They admitted to settling for each other as they approached their 30s, both weary of the dating world. While their marriage started as a practical decision, they slowly uncovered a deep respect and admiration for one another. Now, a decade later, they describe their relationship as a true partnership, one where mutual support and shared values have transformed what once felt like a compromise into a bond they cherish every day. Sometimes the choice to settle isn't about fear or desperation. It's about choosing stability over uncertainty. One woman shared how she married a man she wasn't obsessed with, but respected deeply. They communicated well, worked as a team, and shared common values. Over time, their relationship blossomed into a love she hadn't expected. She reflected, "I may not have had the butterflies at first, but now I love my husband more than I ever thought possible. He's the person I trust and cherish above anyone else." Of course, not everyone finds such a happy ending. One man opened up about his marriage, which started as a hopeful step away from loneliness, but quickly devolved into resentment. He and his wife had little in common, and as their lives grew more complicated, the divide between them deepened. "We were just two people filling a void," he admitted, "and when the cracks showed, there wasn't enough to hold us together." Another couple's story is a powerful reminder that love doesn't always come easily, but can be worth fighting for. They entered their marriage as single parents, blending their families and focusing on raising their kids. While they faced significant challenges, especially during the teen years, they chose to stay and work through their struggles. Years later, when their kids were grown, they discovered a new chapter in their relationship. "It took time, but we grew into a better match for each other," the wife shared. "Now we're stronger than ever, but it wasn't easy getting here." Not all compromises are made in the name of love, though. A man revealed how he married someone purely out of convenience. He was afraid of growing old alone. Initially, the relationship seemed fine, but over time, the lack of genuine connection became impossible to ignore. "We were like roommates, living parallel lives but never truly together," he said. Ultimately, they parted ways, and though he's still single, he reflects on the marriage as a lesson. "Loneliness isn't cured by the wrong company," he said. And then there are stories that blend heartbreak with hard-earned wisdom. One woman shared how she discovered, 5 years into her marriage, that she was her husband's better-than-nothing option. The betrayal stung deeply, but it also became a turning point. She filed for divorce and chose to prioritize her happiness over settling for less. Her words resonate with anyone in a similar situation. Life is too short to be someone's second choice. You deserve someone who sees you as their everything. What these stories show us is that relationships, especially marriages, are rarely as simple as happily ever after. For some, settling turned out to be the best decision they ever made, a choice that blossomed into deep love, respect, and partnership over time. They found joy in the mundane, growth in the struggles, and beauty in building a life together. For others, settling led to regret, resentment, and heartbreak. These marriages became cautionary tales, reminding us that entering a relationship out of fear or convenience often leaves both partners feeling unfulfilled. It's a powerful reminder that love requires more than just proximity or shared goals. It thrives on mutual respect, effort, and a genuine connection. What's clear is that there's no one-size-fits-all answer. Some people found unexpected happiness with their better-than-nothing option, while others discovered the hard way that compromising too much comes at a cost. The key takeaway? Whether you're searching for love in a relationship or reflecting on the past, it's important to balance optimism with realism. Marriage isn't just about finding someone to spend your life with. It's about finding someone who grows with you, supports you, and helps you become the best version of yourself. It's not about perfection, but about choosing someone who's perfectly imperfect for you.